I'm crazy sun soaked today.
Yeah, you are. Is it nice out?
It's
Have
the
you been
new.
outside?
Yeah, it's really nice.
Um,
You're gonna find this as a shock, but we took Granny to daycare.
for today?
Yeah, we had did it. We booked it because we thought we were going to be going to see some family today, like day after Thanksgiving stuff. And Colin was like, actually Saturday. So we were just like, okay, we'll clean the apartment and
Take the
do a
day
bunch
off.
of things that we've been
Did
wanting
you
to
just
do.
clean the apartment the other day?
Yeah, we were. I mean, it's a process. There's multiple things to clean, and
Like
especially with
what?
the dog.
Walk me through it.
Okay, so we'd been cleaning. We put our rug back on the floor. We took the rug out because the dog like peed on it a few times, and so we were like, okay, let's not destroy this rug because she might make more mistakes. She really stopped making those mistakes right after, and we were just kind of lazy putting it back, and we were uncertain. But she does this thing where she drops her like bone on the floor, and it's like our floors, I guess, are cheap because it keeps putting these like little nicks in the floor and these like little dents and stuff.
Just from
So
dropping stuff?
yeah, so from dropping her bone from the couch to the floor,
Do you
it's
think
like
your
puts these
neighbors
little.
hear it
Yeah, for
downstairs?
sure. I
Because
think because yeah.
there's a dog upstairs and it drives me nuts.
Oh yeah. So we used to hear, we occasionally hear this little like scampering from upstairs, and we're always like, what the hell is that thing? And then a thing that we do even before the dog is like sometimes when we have these like wood coasters. If you pick up a drink that's really wet, it like sticks to the bottom of it,
Yeah, I know.
and then it'll just drop off and make this like this wood on ground like like kind of loud, like it's like shit going back and forth like on the ground. And I said to her, I was like, they probably hate that. And so there's all these new noises now that are probably going down. We got her this ball that makes this laugh sound. It's like
Yeah.
and it's heavy, so she's like knocking it around to make the sound. So I'm sure our neighbors hate our freaking guts.
The problem with being a downstairs neighbor is there's nothing you can do to the upstairs neighbors. You just have to pass the shit down.
Fair.
You know?
Well, you could do that old sitcom thing where you take the broom handle and you hit it.
I've tried it. We've talked about it on this podcast even. It hasn't worked.
We talked about this. I don't even remember this.
Yeah, I think I banged on my ceiling and I went up there and talked to them about it once. I didn't even know they had a
Wow.
dog. I never see this dog. It
Yeah.
sounds like a human being is running back and forth,
Right.
you know? And I was just like,
Yeah.
what are you guys running around for at 1 a.m.? And that makes sense.
Right.
I just thought they were very
Um,
active at night.
Yeah. You've had other neighborly problems. I feel like I've been pretty lucky with neighbors. I don't think I've ever had like I don't know what to do about this neighbor. I think people have that with like when they own homes and they have a neighbor that's like got a dog that's terrorizing the neighborhood or being weird.
It's kind of nice because no one's living on this floor right now. Like,
Yeah.
I don't even know if this place is for rent. So we kind of have this whole floor to ourselves. So
Hmm.
it can be kind of louder in the hallways, at least.
Leave your bike in the hallway,
I have been, but yeah,
but wherever you want it,
I know it's kind of true.
put it in front of the other doors.
Yeah.
Fuck
Yeah,
it.
we could do anything. I can nail stuff to the wall.
You can nail whatever you want. You can nail their door shut.
Do you have like one of those punch cards for doggy daycare where you get a free session?
I just found out about this apparently. So I ran into a neighbor, and this is a good
A
neighbor,
good neighbor.
and he
Good
said
boy.
he said you have a punch card, and I was like, oh, I haven't heard about this. So I guess there's a punch card that you get, which we should have done. It seems like every time I talk to you, we put her in daycare, but we really don't
It
put her in
really feels
daycare
like
a lot.
she's constantly in daycare.
Really, we don't. Like, I mean, we don't have a weekly thing. Like Granny's sister, who we hang out with sometimes, her name is Button. We hang out with her owners as well. It's not like we just hang out with the dog, but they
That's
go
a
to.
weird. It's a funny relationship to forge with someone. Like, what are they like?
I really like them.
Okay.
Like I was nervous that like I was like I mean, and Lisa kept wanting to like get them together, and I was like, I don't know who these people are, and now I'm like, I really like them. Like they're cool. They seem like people we would hang out with.
Do they
They're
know
like
that
our
you,
age.
do they know that you got first dibs on the dogs? Because
We didn't.
you didn't.
No, we lost out on this dog named. It was now named Stella. It was Taylor because
Who's probably an asshole anyway.
she seems really nice, although she has had some bone issues.
There you go.
So doubt the bull, doubt the button. But Stella is was in this. It was with a foster parent who decided to keep the dog,
Yeah.
and then John Zaluga's sister was like, "Hey, we have another dog that is her from her litter." And it was two dogs together at this foster, and one of them is taken, but the other one's open. If you want, you could but you have to let us know right away.
Right. That's what I thought it was. Through Lucas'
So we kind of got the third place dog, technically.
Right.
The third, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
But I was nervous. I was kind of like, the dog I'm meeting, they looked so identical, especially at that age. I was like, how do I know which one's which? It doesn't really matter, but I'm very happy that I have Granny.
Yeah. You want to keep Granny. You've put a lot of work in. You got the punch card for the daycare now.
And this just in, I just got a text on my computer from Lisa that says Button and Granny are playing in daycare.
Aw. Wait. So
Can I?
What?
We could watch them.
What's the deal? Okay, let's do that. But what's the deal? You guys both happen to go to the same daycare too?
Yes, that's how we started going to the daycare, because we Lisa had followed them on Instagram and saw a dog that looked identical to Granny, identical. So we were like, "What the hell is this?" And so we investigated. Let me log in.
You guys gonna do one of those dog swaps, kind of like a swingers thing, like a dog key party where you throw each other's collars into a bowl?
You're saying it like this has existed.
I don't know.
It's probably it probably has.
It's possible.
When you think about it.
So, you borrow this other dog for a while and kind of play around with it and see if there's any chemistry.
All right, let's see. Hold on. All right, I'm going to make it full screen. It's going to not work really well, but I'm going to try to. All right, so you have to allow me to share screen.
Okay. I'll for this one time, I'll allow it.
Thank you. I appreciate it, because you're usually anti-sharing screen.
I know. How do I do this?
Good question.
All right, there, it should work now.
Okay. All right, now I'm going to share screen. Oops.
Okay. Oh.
I have to open my system preferences.
Why does it look so weird?
Wait, you see it?
I see a bunch of abstract colors.
Oh, that's the new Mac background.
Safety feature?
No,
it looks weird. There's almost two rectangles. The one on the left is white. The one on the right is multicolor, and then it's like frames of windows, but they're not quite filled in. It looks like a glitch.
All right, so I have to. This sucks. I have to quit and reopen Zoom.
Is it worth it?
I think so.
Okay.
All right. So, Lisa just came in and told me it's illegal to share the video stream.
Really?
Yeah.
What? Why? How does Lisa know?
She immediately just came and was just like, "Are you sharing the video screen?" And I was just like, I'm about to." And she was just like, you can't do that. We signed a waiver that's saying that you can't screenshot it or share it with people who are not members.
This is so interesting. What am I going to do? Jerk off to someone else's dog? What's the concern exactly?
She said you can't because it's people's information. And I said, "What information?" She was like, "Just don't share the screen."
I like you pushing back a little bit. Reminding myself.
It's not. It's other people's dogs.
But what am I going to do? I don't get it. What am I going to do with other people's dogs?
I don't know. You never. You know what I mean?
You have to.
Because I think know what it is. Somebody takes that stream and then puts it up on YouPorn, and now it's bestiality.
Here's the thing, Case. You might still be enough on the other side where you remember what it's like not to have a dog, but do you see yourself becoming a crazy dog person now? Or do you feel it happening? Or is it too late? Yeah.
Oh, no, I'm pretty crazy.
Okay, because you realize that the fact that people care about that, the fact that it came up at some point, that they're like, don't share a video of my dog online, that came up, that conversation was had. That's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah, I know, but that's not even scratching the surface of crazy dog people. Well,
tell me. Now you know. Your friends, you made friends with strangers because your dogs are related.
So Lisa and I will put Granny in her crate and give her a treat till and leave to go to dinner, and she'll be here and she's fine in the crate. And at dinner, we will talk about Granny the entire time.
Right.
like we'll see other dogs and be like, oh, look at that dog. I wonder, oh, look how good she is on the leash. Like all this stuff.
Oh my God.
Like we dropped off Granny and we were like, do you think we could get her back? I miss her. Like literally as soon as we turned the corner and we were like, oh, like it's insane. Like
It happened
it's
so quickly.
I mean, I kind of knew that I would be, I knew I'd be pretty crazy. Like, you know what I mean? If I have kids, like I'm going to be a psychopath.
Do you?
I don't,
Well, do you think
what?
would you be upset if someone streamed a video of Granny on their podcast?
No, of course not. I couldn't care less.
You want her to be a star? You're like a Macaulay Culkin dad.
No, I don't think so. I watched this video of, have you ever, like remember Rebecca Black Friday?
How
It
could I
was
forget?
done. It was done by like a group that did
Production
a bunch
company,
of
right?
the production. They made a bunch of those, and it always had like the same rapper in it
I
for some
know. Yeah,
reason.
he's like that in-house. Like he'll wrap up your whatever song you're putting in.
He'll wrap it up. So there's a Thanksgiving video that's like it's the same style and everything. It's definitely like made by that production company because that rapper's in it. And
It's like for what it is, it's pretty good production value.
but I would never put my child in that position.
But your dog, however,
No, even so, I mean, I don't mind if my dog makes the gram, but part of me is also like, you mean like you're getting all these likes and stuff based on my content, which is my dog.
I still can't get over the streaming thing. Just because,
Streaming
like,
the live cam.
because when would that even come up? What other than this particular exact thing? When else would it come up? I don't get it. It's so extreme to me.
I know. Maybe like a jealous ex-husband who like
Yes.
who's like I miss my dog and like hacks and signs into the member website from
Do
an
you guys
old link.
Do you guys ever talk about if you and Lisa split up, who would get the dog?
No, we never talked about it.
But it would be you.
I think Lisa would probably get it. She'd
Yeah.
probably it just
Yeah.
seems like I'd get the house
Right.
and she'd get
Car. Yeah. That's fair.
That's a fun situation to bring up.
It's weird. Well, see what she says. I'm sure she'll agree with you.
It's easier for us. So for you,
For
you
me,
were gifted Miles.
from Allie, but
Right.
yeah. But I would, out of courtesy, I think she'd want the cat, and I'd be like, yeah, I guess you can have Miles, but really, he belongs with me, and I'd know it. And she knows it.
Wow. I don't
Yeah.
really know. I don't know if Granny belongs with me. Lisa has been she's the predominant person who gets Granny up in the morning and
She's the
takes her
dom?
out. She's the dom in
She's
terms of like
pre-dom.
yeah, you can get pregnant with pre-dom.
Yeah, I know.
And she's the one who takes Granny out in the morning. And I feel like since she does that so much, she's entitled to the dog forever.
Uh-huh.
It's sort of that's
put it in
the
work. So if you start suddenly like doming it up in the mornings, getting pre-dom all over the place, then she might sense that you're angling to like earn the dog. So you got to be
Maybe.
careful there. If you are
I won't be that careful.
okay, yeah,
I don't mind it. I like it, but she's just better. She's just more of a morning person. Not to say I'm not.
you'd become one.
We're both like off the bat perfectly happy in the morning. Like I know people who are like, I can't even be on a phone call until noon.
I prefer the morning, but I find myself staying up late every night, and I enjoy that too. So I mean, I've made my choice, I guess.
I don't even mean like the time you wake up, just how long it takes you to kind of be
Like mentally.
yeah, like nice. Or like
Yeah.
or like, like Eric Lederman, our friend, hates conversations in the morning. Like he really like
He's not wound
tries
up
not
yet.
to. Yeah, like I think he like he like that. Don't talk to me until I've had my coffee.
Yeah.
He's got those T-shirts,
Right.
but like in his soul.
Probably more like a metal reference, so like a
Yeah.
music one.
Don't talk to me until I've had my medal.
Until I've had my Megadeth. He doesn't listen to Megadeth, does he? He's more of a Pantera.
He might. Yeah, I think he likes it all.
So you met this couple, this dog. People.
Yes. Yes, correct.
And what are they like?
They are super nice. Around our age, I think they both work, and they've been working from home during this year. They, I can't remember exactly what they do, but they're just cool, and they're like, they get it and they're funny, like they're just like nice, and they're not like weird. They messed up with the dog a few times in a good way, like we did. Like it's nice to hear someone be like, yeah, we just kept feeding her the same thing, and we, like, as she gained weight, we forgot to give her more, so we had to really
Right.
start. So like I like to hear when people are honest about like making mistakes, just in general. Like, so much in this culture now is like, I didn't make a mistake, and they double down on it.
Well, speaking of which, I hate to be Mr. Engineer
Mhm.
here, but it's pretty noisy when you're holding the mic like that.
Oh, really? Like
I can hear it. Yeah.
this stuff?
Yeah.
Thank you, appreciate it.
There you go. I've been on
Hey,
the receiving end of that many times.
I was wrong.
Thank you. You're still doing it.
I am.
Yeah, that's good.
Even just touching like this?
Yeah.
Wow, I suck.
I mean, I don't care, but I feel like our listeners have a real, taste for quality content, and I would hate to deprive them.
Well, they're wrong.
That's true. They are.
I like that I have like a detachable webcam now, and I could do stuff like this.
Detachable webcam.
Give a little tour of my studio for the
Yeah.
YouTube. This is a segment that's just for the YouTube viewers. You see Joe there?
You could say hi to me.
You
Hey.
could see a vision of the future.
Wow.
And as you could see, Joe, I have a new little table here
Mm-hmm.
for my new computer.
Mm-hmm.
And I also have this bad boy, which goes with this bad boy.
Is it a Wii U?
It's a Wii U I borrowed from our friend Patrick Noth. And I told you I've been playing Zelda Wind Waker.
Wait, so it looks like a prototype of the Switch, huh? I like how Nintendo's always like their projects always kind of blend into each other.
Dude, it's the system Wii U is 100% a Switch, but you can't take the other part like outside of the home.
Right.
So like, all right, so I have this set up in here, but I could take this component and bring it in any other room in my house, and it works. But if I go too far, like if I go like to the other side of my bedroom, then it just kind of cuts out. It won't work.
So funny.
Really interesting. I'm surprised they even have the technology to do this. Like, because they have this. Huh?
You could play the game in your bedroom?
Oh, yeah, I could go in like my living room right now, keep the system thing here plugged in, not even use the TV. It's hooked up to the TV, but the TV's off, and you could play the whole game on here. Or I could come in here and play it. What's interesting is like certain games with like maps and like picking stuff, that'll all be here,
right.
like almost like a 3DS. And so I'm looking at, I could choose a map as I'm going without even hitting pause, which is a pretty sick feature.
I played this game called Outer Wilds, which
Talk to me.
I think you would really, really love it, but
Talk to me.
it's
Why?
not available on any systems
Talk to me.
for you.
Talk to me. Why?
It's an exploration game, right?
Talk to me.
Which I think you enjoy.
Talk to me.
But the premise of it is that you are stuck in a 22-minute time loop in this like solar system.
Now we're talking.
And you got to figure out why and what the deal is and stuff. And
whoa!
Right from the start of the game, you could technically, if you knew what to do, beat it. Kind of like Zelda.
I don't know what to do though.
Right. And I won't tell you either. But like the more you explore, the more knowledge you pick up, and then you use what you know to progress further. It's got nothing to do with like picking up items. You have everything. You have everything with you from the start. It's just you don't know what to do yet.
Good talk.
And it's really beautiful. The soundtrack is great. It makes you think. There's like a nice philosophy about. It's kind of existential,
Yeah.
It's really wonderful.
Every time I start a Zelda game, I have that feeling of like, oh my gosh, there's like so much here vast. that I have to uncover, and it's overwhelming. And I think a lot of times, like since I didn't play a lot of games my whole life, but I have like an affinity that I like them enough. But I get this kind of overwhelmed feeling.
Yeah, big time.
But then it subsides, and I enjoy. And this time around, I'm taking it a little slower and like really like living in every moment. Versus like, okay, what's next? Okay, what's next?
The overwhelming
and that's been
feeling
fun.
is part of the joy of the game. It's about removing that fog of not knowing.
Do you hear going back to like when games began, right?
The
Because
ancient
before
times.
what?
The ancient times.
Well, yeah, like what's the original like and I honestly don't think of there are many sports that are it's a kind of like puzzles is the closest thing to it. Like chess is a game in which like in the middle of it you could sometimes be a little overwhelmed, be like, "Oh shit, I'm like losing," or like I need to figure this out. Right? And that's like an early form of like especially a competitive game. Super
Yeah.
Smash Brothers and chess are not that far off.
No, they're really not. It's two sides of the same coin.
Right, but like what's the what like before, you know, when you look at like Space Invaders and you when you talk when you I watched this thing and a person was describing the feeling that they got from that and how like they like always have chased that feeling with games of like, oh shit, like I need to react and it's like my reflexes, but it's different. It's like a mental thing versus like your actual physical, like if it was tennis or basketball or something. um but I don't know. I guess it is related to all games, you
And then
know.
most modern games come from Dungeons and Dragons, and then that turned into like text adventures. You
Right.
know, on your computer, it'd be like you wake up in
Right.
a room. You can go north, south, east, or west. What do you do? You know, it's like
Right. Right.
that was an early type of thing.
Right. Really fascinating shit.
Yeah, it's cool, and it's just people have been using their imagination for a very long time. I wonder what the like what predates that. What kind of game? What kind of like thought games people were playing that weren't chess or like soccer back in the day. I don't know.
Yeah, I wonder if there were any games that just like were lost to history that like would actually be pretty dope now. You know what I mean? Like we have chess, we have backgammon, we have, you know, checkers. I wonder if there's one that was like, this was really good, but it never caught on, but it was ahead of
Yeah,
its time, but now it's forgotten in time,
yeah,
you
yeah.
know?
I
Also,
don't know.
like sometimes, you know, much like science, I almost feel like games will always be found again.
But yeah, you're always building on the backs of other games, right?
But really, chess is fucking crazy that somebody thought that shit up.
Yeah,
With
it's
all those pieces and like all that shit,
it's
chess
still,
is nuts.
and it still hasn't been solved. That's what the goal seems to be. I don't know why you'd want to do it, but the goal is to solve chess,
What do you mean?
which means that like they have computers. If I understand this correctly, they have computers that are like constantly like learning chess, and if they solve chess, that means that there's no way to beat a computer.
Whoa. And
because
that has not happened yet?
right, because it will always be there will always be enough variables that the computer can't fully compute at all.
Infinite?
You know, there was a really interesting thing done about 15 years ago,
This
16
is what I
years ago.
love about John Berger, folks. Hit me with
Um,
it. I love this shit.
I think it was Kasparov, who was a
Definitely.
grandmaster versus the world.
Kasparov, the friendly ghost. Yeah.
Exactly. It was him versus the world, and basically, I don't know if you remember something called, I think it was called the Zone. I think that's the one. It was. You probably didn't use it much, but like back in the early days of multiplayer, in order to like play with your friends, you'd have to go into this like website and like link your game up to it so that you could play with other people. Basically, a bunch of people got to get together on that and play against Kasparov, and it's
And is
one
Kasparov a person or a computer?
person. It's a person,
Okay.
and there were these forums, and basically everyone would have to vote what what move they should make, and it was by plurality, meaning that like the majority of people.
Oh, I wouldn't trust that that would be better than a
No, but
professional.
they did really well because you had all these people analyzing all these moves. But then there were like flame wars on the forums and people fighting,
What
and
are
like
flame wars?
it's just like bickering and like calling names and stuff. It's just I guess a nickname for
What
arguments
a
on a
term,
message
huh?
board.
What a
I
dumb
know,
term.
I know.
Flame wars?
That's what
Get
they
a new
call it. Yeah,
name.
that's an old name. They probably do have a new name. There's no
Flame name.
there's no you never went on forums, did you?
No, never. I've never really liked forums. I downloaded Discord recently because I was like, let me see this app. And I was like, this is not for me.
Is that a forum though? Not quite. It's more like a chat or
It's a
something.
chat. Well, it is kind of it's like if Reddit was live,
Yeah, I mean the thing with
right?
Reddit, the thing with Reddit is it's not necessarily chronological. People vote on what they think should be the
Right.
top thing at the surface.
Right.
With a forum, everything is in order, you know. And
Oh,
it's
okay.
these communities of people, so you see a lot of the same names. I still belong to one today, the Something Awful forums. I still go to it, and it's
You
interesting.
do?
Yeah, it's like a pretty limited population, but it's like we're all like the same age now, kind of, and there's people even older than me. But you pay $10 for a lifetime membership. This was like 20 years ago,
Hmm.
and so I still have the membership. I'm a lurker, as they would say, but
Hmm.
but it's more of like a community than because it's a recurring people, you know. So everyone kind of knows each other. There's like backstories and like little sagas that occur and stuff.
Wow.
In any case, all these people were playing against Kasparov, and like they did really well. He was worried they were going to beat him. Somehow it was working, you know, because of all
Hmm.
the infighting. They made like one blunder that cost them the whole game.
Isn't that the world?
Yeah, that's it basically.
Wow, that's cool. That's
It's an interesting
fascinating.
Wikipedia read, and there's always like famous chess games, and like I don't know much about chess, but I like reading about it. And you see like each move, and it's like why it was a good move or why it was a blunder.
Did you see Queen's Gambit?
No,
You should watch it.
yeah, I should check it out. There's just so
I
much
Gambit.
content.
I liked it. I could see how it's like, there's issues with it. But it's like every show has like some sort of issue. But I think it's fun. It's like sort of a love letter to chess, and it's fun. The lead character is cool.
Oh, cool,
Yeah,
cool.
in all ways, cool.
Right, right. In all the ways that cool can be cool.
But yeah, we watched that. You're up on a teacher.
Yeah, are you?
No, I'm behind one, and we also are up on that Nicole Kidman show.
Okay. Yeah.
Have you seen that?
Yeah.
Yeah,
What do you think?
I love all the theories.
I think it's like kind of a trashy show, and I love it.
I agree. I've actually been frustrated with it at multiple times. But then yesterday, Lisa, it was Thanksgiving, and Lisa's parents were all talking about it. And I was like, oh, shit, this is water cooler talk. Like, this
Yeah.
is a water cooler show. And
So it's
I
called
haven't had that.
It's called The Undoing. If you haven't watched it yet, we're probably gonna talk some spoilers, so beware.
Yeah, I don't want to spoil much, but basically,
Well, I do
yeah, I
because
don't
I
know.
feel very strongly about what's gonna happen.
Do you want to talk about it?
Kind of.
Okay, so here's a spoiler. How do you do this?
I don't know. Just here. If you're listening now, you make up your mind. Be an adult about it. We're gonna talk about
Yeah.
it. I don't think it matters because we're right now postulating because we don't know the truth yet.
Why don't we only give it 30 seconds to talk about? I guess I don't know. You don't want to give it a.
Look, it doesn't matter because we don't know the ending yet, so it's actually kind of safe
That's
to
true.
talk about it.
Okay, cool.
I'm pretty sure he did it. He's a psychopath,
Sociopath.
sociopath, yeah, and he did it. And it's just the story is more of a thriller about like how you can know a sociopath and not even realize it your whole life. And like she's a
You think
therapist.
so?
This is going right under her nose. I do.
I think it's sort of about how with justice, you know what I mean? Like the problem is like anyone could have kind of done it. Like, reasonable doubt is a thing. But I think there's like a lot of reasons. They're really making it like anybody could have done it. Like
Yeah.
there's
Kind
moments
of.
where the father like knew where the guy lived and like he gave money. There's things where like, there's like there's all these like little aspects of like they try to paint it. There's a theory that like the friend, the blonde friend, Sylvia or something,
Yeah. Oh, for sure, she slept with him.
slept with him, but also did she do it because she hates him and wants him to go to jail and frames him? There's even I was even thinking
He's
like
a serial liar, and his own mother confirms that he's a sociopath.
I agree, but also like you could rationalize that as like the mother. It seems like a bad person too. It's
Because she corrected some grammar, that makes her a bad person.
well, they've painted her in the light of like that she stopped talking to her son, and she's now blaming it on her son. So it's kind of like, and he did become a. Do you think he became a doctor to see children die?
No, but I think that people, sociopaths seek positions of power like that, for the validation. And a lot of doctors, not all of them, as you know, but a lot of them are kind of assholes. Like this is a common thing I hear from people. Allie.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
I guess so. I mean, I believe it. I mean, I think there's also, I don't know if a sociopath could be a doctor unless you just think that they're so cold that they can.
Yeah, I think so.
That's interesting theory. Yeah, I mean, I kind of think so too. But I think that it's the show's like what's fun is that it's like it could be anyone. So we don't know right now,
Yeah.
and that'll be interesting to see.
And the fun thing with a teacher, when you'll see, it's finally like catching up to them in the next episode, which I'm excited for you to.
Okay. Oh, that's good.
I'm upset because I'm like, oh, I wish it didn't end there. I want to see what's gonna happen, but this is the moment when the shit hits the fan.
I have a theory back to the other show, The Undoing, that it's the woman who died. It's her son.
You think he did it?
Yeah, I think so.
Do you just want to throw that in there?
Yeah, I just want to put that one in the mix.
That poor fucking kid. This is why the show is trashy. Why would the father bring his son to the courtroom and they show pictures of the mother's face bashed in and they're talking about who she's fucking and everything? It's like, don't bring your 10-year-old kid to this. What are you doing?
I know.
What is
It's
the
crazy.
deal? Let's
10
ask
years
Chris-
old is young.
Let's ask Chris what he thinks. Let's see. What do you think, Chris?
What do you think, Chris? What, like, honestly, weigh in. What do you think?
What do you think? Your audio's bugging. Your audio's bugging.
Okay. What do you think, Chris?
Internet audio, baby. Listen, I'm on the podcast to tell you that I can't really be on the podcast.
Okay.
And I just want to say hi. And the threat of female versus male in regards to wires is so real. You have to keep track of that stuff.
Okay, so you're putting up Christmas lights.
Yeah.
And what do you mean about the threat of female to whale?
Well, I was getting a little dramatic. But and I could share with the visual learners. If I can move, I can't do this right now.
Viewers. Viewers.
Yeah, viewers.
You see learners?
You see, this has to follow, right? So I got a female going. I got a male going in the female, and then you follow this, and you want to make sure that when you got the lights. And look, I got stuck with a female.
Okay, so he's talking about the lights that have like the plug where you either plug in or out. So yeah, he's showing us photos. Can we see, like, can you step back and show us what the lights are going to look like? Oh,
So
don't show your address though.
Did you goof?
You want a before and after?
Yeah, I think so.
Let's see. Hi, everybody. How's everybody doing? What's up, Podophiles? Get out of town. Oh, here we go.
That's not our catchphrase.
Get out of town?
All right. So this whole bush
Out of town? You think that's our catchphrase?
Get out of town.
Get out of town. So this is going to have 3 nets, and it comes out nicely. Guys, this is a big bush. You'll be surprised how big it is until you start putting nets of lights. Yeah. Then this guy, this big one, is going to have a whirl of lights going down.
Have you ever done this before?
Yeah, this is and then I have icicle lights going along the top of the roof.
You've been on the roof before?
I'm showing Casey and Joe the lights.
Is that your mom?
Yeah, they're across the street. Well, I've been on my roof, right? So it's funny to be on the roof across the street. A little roof perspective is delightful.
You have such a life, man.
I mean, you guys have such a life, right?
Hey, can you do me a favor?
Lives.
Can you do me a favor?
Your dad has to be quick.
I mean, tomorrow we're going bike riding, right?
Hell yeah!
Theory. Can you
touch my dad?
Ask your dad if he can give me that thing he said he was going to give me?
What is it?
It's like a stationary bike like converter, so it'll turn my bike. Oh
yeah,
into
I'll
stationary.
run and go get it. Yeah, I'll make sure I get that. I'll do it.
That's so exciting.
Yeah, I'll do it later. Yeah, I'll get that.
Stationary bike converter so that you could exercise with your bike?
Yeah, inside. Yeah.
Yeah. So then during the winter,
it like lifts the back wheel or something like that.
That's fun. That's old school. That's so like you got to dress like in a fanny pack and like 80s shorts.
Oh yeah, I already have all that.
It's new. Yeah, it's really nice. It's like a newer one of those. Like it's a really nice piece of equipment.
It probably lifts up both, right? Or just only if you pedal with the back wheels, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's only one. Yeah.
I was talking to Mark about it, and he, we were saying it'd be funny if like I try to do VR while I'm in it, and like the thing comes off the stand, and I crash into my TV and destroy like just thousands of dollars. In this one moment.
I like that as if like you would be going so fast that as soon as you hit the ground, you would just like peel out like it's the Ferris Bueller car.
Yeah, that's it.
Like wild
window.
smoking. and you're just pedaling so fast.
I'm hanging out of my window. I'm hanging out of my window from the headset, like just dangling from my
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You're holding on. Ah! Your legs are kicking like
exactly.
You would have to be like an action sequence, like a Last Action Hero sequence, or like
Yeah, I
a
know.
Rambo sequence, to get that amped. Because otherwise, if you're just going along the valleys of France, you're just taking it easy.
Right, I'm just gonna be French about it.
You're just gonna be so French.
Can you like hack a Peloton like exercise video
Claire.
and on your VR and do it like that?
I guess so. I was looking into that stuff. The Peloton's expensive, man. It's crazy.
Super
Yeah.
expensive.
It's insane.
It's like software and hardware. Anytime you're getting
And it's
both,
subscription.
yeah, it's crazy.
And I saw on the TV on the TV a commercial for a different kind of Peloton. So like a competitor has entered the ring. I wonder if they would Pelican.
Gelaton. Lisa wants to get the mirror. Have you guys seen this mirror?
Yeah. I think Murray has one. Maybe he can sell it to you.
Yeah.
The Murray mirror. Maybe it won't recognize when Lisa steps in the mirror. It's like looking for Murray.
Too hot, too sexy, must break.
And to come for a circle, that'll be the male versus female dilemma.
To come first
And
circle?
on that, to come for a circle, to come
for a circle. Who comes first?
The chicken or the egg? Which I guess is that another egg? Didn't we have an egg conversation recently? Oh yeah, if Nicole laid eggs as a turtle.
Yeah, because what I brought up is it was just weird that women have eggs. I think that's a funny thing. So it's funny that ladies have eggs to me, and they run out of eggs. They only have a limited amount of eggs.
And you never think of eggs as the microscopic little cell. Like you think of eggs as the hard-boiled things that you get.
They
in
come
the
out hard-boiled. And Mark,
this is another conversation we should have Monty in on.
Yeah, but
you guys gotta get Monty back. He was great.
He was so good.
Yeah.
Mark says,
"All right, podophiles. I'll see you guys later. I love you guys.
I love you. Bye.
You sure?
Wait. Yeah, because
why don't you just set up the camera? We can watch you.
Because I can't. Maybe, but then the speaker won't work.
Right.
Unless you want me to just stay on.
I mean, we want you to stay on, but it's up to you. If you got stuff to do, I could just give you an old get out of town.
Yeah, that's what we
Our
say.
catchphrase.
There's a first circle.
Bye.
All right, love you. Happy Thanksgiving.
Okay.
All right, bye.
For next year?
Yeah. So I'll reserve that.
Okay. Oh, what a show we have today, guys.
What a wild time it is to be alive.
I think your mic might be a little low because Chris's was very loud. Did that seem like, did my audio and his audio seem the same level to you?
Yeah. I don't know what's wrong with mine. Is this better? How's that?
That's better. That's probably better. I mean,
Maybe
you might have
to.
I don't know. You have to. Yeah.
I had the gain down.
You'll probably get the separate audio file too, right?
I don't know.
Okay. Whatever. I don't care. I'm not editing this.
This is not your week. It's not your problem.
Yeah. That was nice. Do you do Christmas lights? Are you going to do a tree?
I was walking home from the supermarket and I saw that they had trees outside. So I asked how much was the cheapest tree and it said $100. And I feel like it was a Key Food parking lot in Brooklyn. I feel like at a gas station parking lot in Staten Island, you could probably get it for like $40 to $60. So I might hold out for that. I think we're going to get something smaller, like more like a twig or something.
Charlie Brown.
I want that smell. I want that smell in the house, you know?
I'm worried that Granny will eat it, so I'm not going to get one. But we haven't gotten one in this apartment.
I kind of want, as long as it's not, we haven't either. But I as long as it's not toxic to Miles, I kind of want him to eat it because apparently chewing on plants is how cats clean their teeth. And he's got some rank ass breath. So I'm not.
I've been brushing Granny's teeth.
That's good. Yeah,
it's not that hard.
He's not into it.
The toothpaste they like. So while they're just like basically licking the brush, you just.
Cats are very mouth forward animals. Dogs are very mouth forward. They use their mouth all over your body.
Because cats got thumbs. Cats have thumbs.
Yeah, cats have thumbs and eggs.
And dogs that they have the thumb in their mouth. Their tongue is their thumb.
Exactly.
That's a little bit of science for you folks for free.
we were trying to, we were thinking about like what are Thanksgiving traditions we can start doing. And Allie wants to watch the Lord of the Rings trilogy every year, so we started that yesterday.
The entire thing?
Just leave it on in the background all day, like how someone might have the Ten Commandments on or something, one of those like epic movies, while they're just like around the house. Because it's not like you're actively watching it; you just have it on, and you can kind of refer to it in moments. It's a nice thing.
Do you like those movies?
Yeah, I do, and she loves them.
I remember watching them. I remember watching them at Billy Gaggs's house, and I think I fell asleep during the Two Towers. Is that what it's called?
Yeah,
which is weird that it was called that.
Yeah, I know.
9/11.
I know they really messed up when they made that movie.
Offensive, but there was. I remember like the second and third one maybe being bad or long and boring.
They're all great. They're long, but they're not boring.
But I remember them being bad. Am I wrong?
They're not bad. They're critically acclaimed. It's a critically acclaimed trilogy that's very popular worldwide to this day.
What do critics know?
I don't know. Are you thinking of The Hobbit?
No, I didn't see that either. I only saw the first three, I think. Is The Hobbit good? I love the cartoon one.
The original is like it's a short book kind of, and because of the success of Lord of the Rings, they made Peter Jackson turn The Hobbit into a trilogy, and it kind of really stretched the material thin. So it's not really as good, and it has that weird soap opera. It was almost like too high def, and it had that like uncanny look. You know when you have a TV and like the settings are weird and it kind of just looks off, like too real.
Was that the one that was like shot on like oh no, that was Paul Thomas Anderson, the master, but it was shot with like 48 frames per second, which is like
I think it was like 70 millimeter.
Oh, okay. But yeah, I want to maybe I'll watch The Hobbit because I liked the cartoon as a kid, and I obviously like fantasy shit.
I guess, but you should watch the originals. The Hobbit's not as good.
I've watched it. I mean, I've seen them. The originals.
Are you sure that you don't like them though? So why would you like The Hobbit?
I didn't really like. I didn't like the parts where. I don't know. There's something about it that like seemed too long of a quest. It's a shorter. The funny thing is that they cut out a lot for that stuff. It's a long quest. It's an epic. Yeah.
The last movie is 3 hours and 20 minutes long.
Yeah.
And that's the edited version.
What about the Harry Potters? Do you like those?
I haven't seen or read any of them.
Yeah, me neither. That's not my stilo.
I'm sorry you're out. It really is a fantastic trilogy. You don't have to watch them all in one day, but it's good. There's moments when I like tear up,
Okay, maybe I'll watch. Maybe I'm more into it now as an adult. When I was a kid.
Take a puff of the chief. Take a puff of Gandalf's pipe. Check it out.
The chief.
Yeah. Chief the pipe.
Yeah, that's a fun. I didn't know if that's what you meant by tradition. I think you meant like, something like drinking 2 bottles of wine or something like. Or
we drank all right.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's cocktails all day. I made a brown derby.
What's that?
It's fresh squeezed grapefruit juice, bourbon, and maple syrup.
Ooh, that sounds really good.
Yeah, it's nice. It's
I like a Paloma, which is like a tequila grapefruit.
Yeah, and what else is in it? Lime juice or something?
I don't think it would be. I think it's soda. I think it's like soda water. Like
I don't like that at restaurants or bars because I feel like it's all sugary. But if it's fresh squeezed grapefruit, you're gonna have a good time.
Oh, I mean, yeah, fresh squeezed juice.
I know.
I can't believe there's alternative.
I know.
You know what I mean? And that's the one that's more common.
It's very annoying. I guess it's just cheaper and easier. It makes sense.
It's fucking bullshit, Joe. And you know it. Don't fucking try to.
It makes sense for a business. It makes sense for business,
Yeah, isn't that funny that we grew up drinking like Tropicana juice?
Like it was a healthy breakfast drink to have.
It's really crazy.
I can't believe it.
It's like it's like a sugar packets that they put into a carton.
I know. It's almost like, I don't know. Do you think we could like sue them?
I don't think we can. Not now. Oh,
really?
Well, it depends if we have the right lawyer.
We have like a really good legal representation.
Yeah. Wait a second.
What?
Wait a second.
What?
Joe, we have a lawyer, a great one, who lives in Griffin, Georgia. I'm just blanking on his name.
Oh, yeah. That really hot single lawyer.
Yeah, and his number's like, how does it go?
I think it starts with the 770
770
415
5 2848. What is it?
9848.
Yes,
770 415 9848.
Okay, now that you said the number, I know exactly who we're talking about. It's Jody
Sellers.
The Sellers Law Firm in Griffin, Georgia.
We assume that he can also sue people.
That's right. He's going to try hard because he's got triceps.
He's been posting pictures. He's been posting pictures in the gym. You seen that hard bod?
Was the shirtless?
No, he's wearing a muscle shirt.
Oh, even better.
And his hair
is like make me want it, you know.
His hair is still perfectly manicured, styled, even in the gym.
Where can I see this?
I think it's on his Instagram, or maybe you put it in the group me or the Telegram. But if you want to see it, listeners, join our Telegram,
please.
It's $50. That's it.
I don't know if I follow Jody Sellers' solo project.
I guess I don't know if he
have
does.
A sologram?
I don't know if he does.
I don't think he does either.
No, he doesn't because
he's so fucking professional.
Everything goes into his business, yeah, because he cares. And when he makes you a cocktail, he uses fresh juice. I know that much. I know that much for sure. I would eat my hat if he doesn't. We
got a great question today in the Telegram. One of our podophiles, as we like to call them, and they love to hear that, it was said, should I move to New York City even though I'm in my 30s?
And I have no job prospects there. And we said yes.
And our answer was 100% you have to.
Yeah. Yeah. It's great to, even if it's a mistake, it's great. You'll always remember it.
It's the best. I mean, I can't even tell you, Joe, some of my favorite restaurants of all time closed during this pandemic. And there are still so many great restaurants.
I know. And they're going to be replaced. The closed ones are going to be replaced by great restaurants.
Amazon, probably.
they're entering the restaurant business.
Yeah, Amazon.restaurant.food.com. .comida.
What was Coney 2012? I never saw it.
Okay, so there's a dictator, and he was really bad, and there was a documentary about how bad he was and how like the world doesn't really know that this guy is so bad. And then because of the documentary, the world knew. And then nothing really happened.
Nothing happened, right?
I think he eventually like lost power, but then like I think they got rid of him, and then a new guy stepped up, and there's like a new Coney.
But I remember this is not as catchy. It's Coney 2012.
Yeah, it just didn't. The hashtag didn't take off.
So that was the hashtag? Was it one of the first hashtags?
Well, it was a hashtag turned about a documentary.
I feel like hashtags were pretty new back then.
Yeah.
Wow, that's weird to think about hashtags being like this new thing.
I know. There's a Drake lyric where he's like back when I had the Subaru hatchback. I'm talking way before hashtags.
Uh-huh.
And it's nice. And I bet you a lot of kids are like, there was a time before hashtags.
I know.
I actually don't even know if anybody even, I mean, I know people use them still as like, but it's usually just for jokes. I don't know if anyone's ever like categorizing things as like, but there's trending. No, there's trending things.
Whenever someone posts a picture or like, some of their art, that's just like a pile of hashtags afterwards, like beauty, woman.
Photo of the day.
Drawing. Yeah, exactly. It's just
right.
Even if it's just drawing, that's a funny one to categorize it under.
I know. Like,
I'm gonna look up drawing.
I'm going to look up drawing and then find that. There's got to be, right?
Yeah. Photo of the day.
I've used it actually sometimes to like look up a camera. Mm-hmm. Like, let's say I want to see some photos from the
I've used it
6100.
I used it to look up sneakers. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's funny. So it does work.
But I'll also like I was looking up some stuff about the Mac Mini, which I bought, and I was like, oh, let me look on Twitter, and I just wrote it out because I was like, more people are just going to write Mac Mini rather than put the hashtag. I assumed.
Were you correct?
Yeah, and then you also get like more reports of people that are just being like, hey, I got the Mac Mini, and it's like I'm having Bluetooth connectivity issues, and you get to learn about it.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not having Bluetooth connectivity issues.
Not yet, baby.
I know it might come. It's okay.
What did you do for Thanksgiving?
Went to Lisa's parents' house. It was 5 of us. We all got tested the day before. And clean bill of health.
You did a rapid test?
Yeah, we scheduled a rapid test like weeks in advance so that we could get it and they honor your appointment. So you get there at the time and you don't have to wait.
Did you have to pay for it?
Yeah. It was covered by insurance and then we had to pay an $85 copay.
There's a place that's free that does them. That same day rapid test, but
Raps?
wait online, yeah.
Wow.
Rapid PCR. But I didn't do that. There was a place
wait in line?
Yeah, but it wasn't so bad when I went. I think people are going nuts around Thanksgiving to get tested. I canceled my flight. I was originally going to go to Florida with Allie to see my parents.
I'm really glad you did it.
I know you're
really peaking up right now.
You've often mentioned that you think I see my parents too often, and I think you're right.
I think it sucks, because they're a bad influence on you.
Yeah. So I had a test scheduled last week at this new urgent care that opened up around the block, and I went to it anyway. Just even though I knew I wasn't flying, I was like, well, I might as well just get tested. And they didn't know what they were doing. It was like there's all these urgent cares that are like popping up brand new because I guess there's a demand now, and no one knew what they were doing. There were people coming in like breaking the line because they were getting calls from the place saying, hey, we accidentally ran someone else's test under your work. You have to come in and get tested again. So they already fucked up with her. Then with me, I sit down in the exam room, and she's like pulling up my chart. She's like, somebody already entered information in here. So they entered another patient's information under my information. Like they were just fucking up left and right. And I just didn't have any faith. And so they did finally call me a full week later when I would have been in Florida anyway to tell me I was negative. I don't even believe that. I don't even believe the negative thing, Who knows if they even had my information?
I had I was a little stuffed up in one nostril, and which is usually my bad nostril. When they do the test, I like a good nostril. And then the woman who was testing me was like, she was like, she went to this one. I was like, can you actually do this one? It's better. And she was like, I have to do both. I was like, oh, okay. And she tried to go, and this was so embarrassing. It wouldn't go through because there was like a little bit of like blockage with like a booger.
It wouldn't go through? Wow.
And she was like, I can't get it in. And I was like, oh, I'm sorry.
You're too tight.
Like, well, hold on. And she just like pushed it harder, and it was gross and funny.
Did it break it up though? Could you breathe after that?
Yeah, it was okay. It was just it was just a little hard in my nose.
Was it like innuendo in a way? She's like, I can't. I'm sorry. This never happens, but I can't.
No, it was not. It didn't feel sexy.
Wasn't fun.
At all. It felt the opposite of sexy.
I'm sorry.
Actually, maybe sometimes sexual, experiences are a little awkward. So
Sure.
maybe in that way it was.
I think you haven't lived if you haven't had an awkward sexual experience.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely not.
Sex is already the weirdest thing in the world. I think about how weird it is a lot because it's just so strange what people do, just banging their ugly parts against each other.
I know, and it's supposed to be really like the most natural thing you could do.
There are times when it is, and it's beautiful and lovely and a transformative experience. But then there's times when you're like, what is this weird thing that we're doing?
A dog at the dog park the other day started humping Granny, and the owner was like on her phone and wasn't stopping it. So I had to run across the dog park and push this dog off. But I definitely think he got a little penetration. I saw the stuff come out.
So you want to keep Granny a virgin forever? This is your goal.
Not forever, but this was not the right dog.
Got it.
I don't want her first time to be this scrawny little stupid dog.
Right. You want a big boy,
and I want to make eye contact with the owner
and the dog,
and go like this.
Do Granny and her sister ever get funny with each other?
No.
That's good.
They go crazy. They fight each other like they're a villain. Like they each think the other person's a villain. It's spy versus spy with the two of them.
Oh, that's great.
I've never seen her more aggressive with the dog. It's so funny. And then their foster mom, who still stays in touch with us, we posted a video of her or something, and she was like, "This is exactly what they were like when I lived with them."
Oh wow!
So they've always been these frenemies.
Is there a third one?
Yes, Stella, and she's in college.
Right. Okay.
That's the one I mentioned.
You mentioned it. Yeah.
That was the foster person who kept it. So
right.
It was a younger girl who.
And she's not interested.
Keep this
and hanging out with you guys.
No, she is, but she's in college, so she's at but she made plans.
But the dog was in college.
Because that's where the owner is.
The owner went away to college.
Yes.
Oh wow.
My cousin's in college.
I didn't know people were still doing that.
My cousin's in college at Fordham, and she's on campus, but most of her classes are digital.
What a bummer, man. Just because like it's just not the college experience.
I know, but hopefully it's just this first year.
Yeah.
Like it must have. I think it's way worse for people who are graduating in like the last year of either college or like the last semester of college or like a couple months in graduation they missed out on.
My freshman year at college,
weddings.
My freshman year at college, you weren't allowed to have a car. So I guess it's like the same thing.
Can I vent for a second about like like a lot of this political stuff? Like the people who are like, we should open up. You're killing small businesses, but then they don't wear masks and they're continuing the lockdown.
Right.
Like it's specifically the people who don't want to wear masks that are like also mad that there's like a lockdown, but it's like they're literally killing people.
Yeah, it's the cause of the thing.
Making so it's like to me that that sort of thing bothers me so much. It's so crazy.
It's funny because like I get it. I get no one wants to wear a mask and everyone wants businesses to be open, but like they're just going about it all wrong, you know?
Yeah.
It's a shame. It's because I don't disagree. It sucks, but it's like don't do that. Like wear the mask. You know? Find a better way to make businesses like you just gotta follow the rules. There's a place in Staten Island that they declared themselves an autonomous zone. They're gonna stay open. I think it's in Grant City, a bar or something. They're going to stay fully open, like, you know, in rebellion. And the problem is that people love rebellion. No one likes being told what to do. This is human nature. So it's really going to just perpetuate.
I know. And it sucks because it's like, if it were only going to hurt those people, it'd be like, okay, like, you know what I mean? They're asking for it, but they are going to spread it to their loved ones and family. Like this Thanksgiving is going to be like post Thanksgiving. We're going to see like, it's going to be, I hope I'm wrong, but you also see people like there's a thing where a nurse was talking to camera and was like, there are people dying that are saying that it's a hoax.
Yeah,
they're dying from COVID and they're being like, no, it's got to be like lung cancer. And they're like, you don't have lung cancer. You 100% don't have lung. And like, as they're dying, they're like not believing that it's COVID.
I really do feel that the truth lies somewhere in between these two extremes of like, don't ever go out and like everything's fine. But unfortunately, you don't hear about the middle ground. You know, it's all just extremes.
Yeah. I think like the number one issue, I mean, obviously like a vaccine will be good. Actually, the only thing I think is good is that like Trump is saying that like there's a vaccine coming. And so I'm hoping that people who would be anti-vaccine will fucking take the vaccine because Trump is telling them to.
That's the thing. I mean, that's true. Yeah.
So that's
at least he's not saying that there's no vaccine.
But yeah, it's crazy. It's just crazy. I wish that the tests, I mean, like, I understand that like the vaccine takes a long time, but I really wish that we got the tests under control. Like, I wish that everyone could get like a packet every week in the mail of tests. And it was some sort of like litmus test.
It's doable.
That you
they have take-home tests. I guess it's just expensive, but it's definitely doable.
That's the thing. I mean, like that would have changed the whole game in the beginning. If like we had the tests under control, and maybe that'll help in the future if we keep working on it. But it's really crazy that it's even like if I find out even like in a 2-day turnaround, you could make a huge difference. And it's even still hard because like within those 2 days, you never know. Or if like you were infected, but it didn't show up on that test and 2 days later it's a scary thing. But really, like if everybody can sort of test like every other day at home, like we did one that was like, it was sent to us. We spit into saliva things and sent it out and found out like a day or two later. And that was good. And that seems like something that would be great. It's just, I think the labs get so backed up that's why, like, if it was sort of a litmus test thing or like, you know what I mean? Like where you could dip it in and it tell you like a pregnancy test. If I could just piss onto something and it tells me if I have COVID, that would be great.
Yeah, better. I'll shit in whatever you give me. I'll take a shit in it. You give it to
puke.
me. You find a thing. I'll shit or puke in it. I'll do both. I'll piss, shit, puke. I'll bleed. I'll come in it. I'll do anything.
Yeah, me too, man.